Chapter 3, Health Benefits of Keto Diet. Welcome to our channel. Food as medicine. You are what you eat. For people who can strictly adhere to it, the keto diet offers various health benefits that could make the thought of eliminating the intake of carbohydrates a little bearable or even welcoming. However, though the benefits are pretty overwhelming, it is still best to consult a physician if your health conditions require the keto diet. Here are some of the benefits of the keto diet. 1. It leads to weight loss. Restricting carbohydrate is one of the easiest and most effective ways to lose weight. Studies have shown that people on low-carb diets tend to lose more weight faster than those on a low-fat diet, even when those diets are actively restricting calories. Restricting the intake of carbohydrates enables low-carb diets to rid excess water from the body, lower insulin levels and lead to rapid weight loss in a week or two. Studies comparing the keto diet and some low-fat diets showed that those restricting their carbs sometimes lose 2 to 3 times more weight without being hungry than others. One study involving obese adults found that a keto diet is particularly effective for up to 6 months compared to other conventional weight loss diets. The study equally showed that the difference in weight loss between these diets was insignificant after that. A year-long study involving 609 overweight adults on a low-fat or keto diet showed that both groups lost similar amounts of weight. It was gathered that eating less will ultimately lower the number of calories a person consumes, which helps lose weight. Another study showed that people following a keto diet could lose up to 3 times more weight than low-fat dieters, with an added advantage of not feeling hungry quickly. Similarly, other findings revealed that a significant portion of the fat lost by those on the keto diet comes from the abdominal region, making it easier to lose some visceral or unhealthy fat. 2. It helps people to burn unhealthy fat. Studies have shown that a greater proportion of fat loss during ketosis comes from the abdominal cavity. Though not all fat in the body is the same, storing fat determines how it affects a person's health or disease risk. The 2 main types of fats are subcutaneous fat, which is found under the skin, and visceral fat, which is accumulated in the abdominal cavity and is typical for obesity and overweight. Visceral fat tends to pile up around the organs, and excess visceral fat is associated with inflammation and insulin resistance, which may promote the metabolic dysfunction that is quite common in the Western world today. However, a keto diet is very effective in reducing this harmful abdominal fat. Since a more significant proportion of the fat people lose on the keto diet is from the abdominal cavity, it can drastically reduce the risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes over time. 3. It reduces appetite. Hunger is easily one of the worst side effects of dieting, and one of the major reasons a lot of people feel inadequate and eventually give up on following a healthy eating habit. However, the keto diet leads to an automatic reduction in appetite. Studies have shown that when people restrict carbs and eat more protein and fat, they eat fewer and fewer calories. Studies have shown that a reduction in carbohydrate consumption plays a crucial role in reducing one's appetite. A study involving participants who were instructed to stick to the keto diet did not get hungry as often as others who followed a low-fat diet. 4. It helps to lower triglycerides levels. Triglycerides are defined as fat molecules that circulate in the bloodstream. It is scientifically proven that high fasting triglycerides levels in the blood after an overnight fast are high risk for heart disease. One of the leading causes of elevated triglycerides in inactive people is carbohydrate consumption, especially simple sugar fructose. However, when people restrict carbs, they tend to experience a drastic reduction in blood triglycerides. Alternatively, low-fat diets often trigger triglycerides to increase. Keto diet contributes to an increase in the level of good, HDL cholesterol. High-density lipoprotein, HDL, is often known as the good cholesterol. However, the higher the HDL levels relative to bad, LDL, the lower the risk of heart disease. One of the best and easiest ways to increase good HDL levels is to eat fat, and the keto diet involves consuming a lot of fat. Therefore, it is pertinent that HDL levels increase drastically on healthy eating and keto diets, while they only increase moderately or decline on other low-fat diets. 5. It reduces blood sugar and insulin levels. Ketogenic diets can also be particularly effective for diabetes and insulin resistance, which has been shown to affect millions of people globally. Studies have shown that eliminating the intake of carbohydrates will drastically lower both blood sugar and insulin levels. However, people with diabetes who begin a keto diet may reduce their insulin dosage by 50% almost immediately. In a study involving type 2 diabetes, 95% had reduced or eliminated their glucose-lowering medication within 6 months following the ketogenic diet. Nonetheless, suppose you take blood sugar medication. In that case, it is advisable to talk to a doctor before making changes to carb consumption, as the dosage may need to be adjusted to prevent hypoglycemia. 6. It lowers blood pressure. High blood pressure, or hypertension, is a risk factor for several diseases, including stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure. Following a keto diet is an effective way of lowering blood pressure, which will help reduce the risk of these diseases and help a person live longer. 7. It is effective against metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a condition that is highly associated with the risk of diabetes and heart diseases. Metabolic syndrome is a collection of symptoms, such as abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, high fasting blood sugar levels, high triglycerides, low, good, HDL cholesterol levels. However, a keto diet is significantly effective in treating all 5 of these symptoms, and when following this diet, these conditions are nearly eliminated. 8. It improves bad LDL cholesterol levels. People with high, bad LDL are more prone to heart attacks. The size of the particles is vital. Smaller particles are associated with a higher risk of heart disease, while larger particles are associated with a lower risk. However, the keto diet increases the size of bad LDL particles while decreasing the number of total LDL particles in the bloodstream. Therefore, reducing carb intake can improve heart health. 9. It is therapeutic for several brain disorders. The brain needs glucose since some parts can only burn this type of sugar. That is why the liver produces glucose from protein in the absence of any carbs. Still, a more significant part of the brain can equally burn ketones produced during starvation or low carbohydrate intake. For years, these ketones have been used to treat epilepsy in children who do not respond to pharmaceutical treatment. On various occasions, this diet has cured children of epilepsy. In a study involving diabetic children, over half of them on a ketogenic diet experienced more than 50% reduction in their number of seizures, while 16% of them became seizure-free. At the moment, ketogenic diets are now being studied to understand their roles in other brain conditions, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. 10. It can improve the quality of sleep. The ketogenic diet has also been reported to improve sleep quality and enable people to sleep peacefully. Though, a person may experience some difficulty falling asleep initially, especially during the first 3 to 5 days of being on a keto diet. However, once the body gets used to being in ketosis, it becomes easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling fresher or energized. A study involving children with therapy-resistant epilepsy showed that they experienced an improvement in their quality of sleep when placed on a ketogenic diet. A sound sleep equally contributes to higher energy levels. In the beginning, they may feel jaded and a little low on energy after they begin the keto diet. This state is known as the keto flu. It is not uncommon for a person to equally experience headaches, nausea, and other unpleasant conditions. This keto flu occurs due to ketosis since the body is no longer burning glucose and adjusting to the changes. Nonetheless, after a few days, a person will likely feel even more energized and reinvigorated than they were before their body became accustomed to burning fat for energy. 11. It improves mood and emotional disposition. Recent experiments involving rodents showed that those on a keto diet had a reduction in anxiety levels. This reduction was equally observed in rodents whose mothers were on the keto diet. This improvement in mood and emotional state was attributed to the keto diet's low sugar levels and high focus on healthy fat intake. 12. It improves liver health. Keto diet is also significantly effective for people with risk factors of fatty liver disease, typically associated with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes that often results from high blood sugar levels. A reduction in carbohydrate intake may reduce blood sugar levels, reducing a person's chances of suffering from fatty liver disease. 13. It reduces inflammation markers. A person's inflammation levels may indicate the level of risk they are currently at in terms of developing health conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and autoimmune disorders. By measuring high-sensitivity C-reactive proteins, hsCRP, and white blood cell counts, doctors or health practitioners can gauge a person's inflammation levels. In a 2-year study, patients that followed a keto diet recorded a 29% reduction in their hsCRP levels. 14. It enhances cognitive function. Studies have shown that the keto diet can improve mental performance and cognitive functions. Studies have suggested that the brain is more effective on ketones than on blood sugar. A study found that diet-induced ketosis improves cognition in adult rodents. Another group of researchers also examined how the keto diet affects cognition in people with epilepsy using existing studies. Though findings showed that the keto diet has a significant effect on cognitive abilities, other studies also opined that it might significantly affect patients with Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, autism, and other neurological disorders. So, eat right. Eat wisely. And be happy. Here ends this video on the keto diet and weight loss. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our other videos in this series. Food as medicine. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Goodbye. See you again soon.